Shalom, shalom. I want to start off this lesson by saying all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakodach, for giving the opportunity to do a lesson today. I do want to give double honor to the elders and Apostle Great Millstone for teaching the truth by using precepts upon precepts and line upon line. This lesson I want to get into today is about there is a cultural change, or there is a shift happening on earth. All right. And the first scripture I want to grab to prove the point is Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 9. Now Esau is the end of the age of this age, and this is like a new revised standard version, updated edition for King James Apocrypha. So there's Apocrypha version. So it says Second Ezra 6 and 9. Now Esau is the end of this age, and Jacob is the beginning of the age that follows. The beginning of a person is the hand, and the end of the person is the heel. You know, because if you go back to the history when Jacob Esau was born, Esau came forth, but the one that hold on to his heel was Jacob. All right, it was a future prophecy of showing of of how the end gonna be. Esau's gonna end up ruling, but what's gonna happen is that Jacob follows after Israel, so-called Negroes, Latino Americans, and we're seeing that through the culture. We're seeing this around the world how Esau is falling apart and people is favoring Israel, so-called Negroes, Latino Americans, over Esau Edom. All right. Now there is still some stigmatism among everybody where they're like they hate the Jakes, they hate the Latinos, they hate the Native Americans, they hate the black people, But that's slowly fading away. All right, because of popularity, because of social media, because of the looks, because of the confidence, the manly, the way we take care of ourselves. That's slowly taking effect where everybody around the world are slowly seeing Jake rising. All right, and that's going with prophecy of how Esau is the end of the world, Esau is going down, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow with it. All right. Another scripture I want to grab is the book of Deuteronomy, all right, chapter 30, verse 7. I want to get this one because this talks about how Yahweh Shemashah gonna put the curses upon our enemies that had afflicted us, that was our end, that was that had afflicted us, that was against us, that had destroyed us. All right, because that affliction, that curses are falling upon Esau now. Because back in the days, the Jake man would never have a woman. No woman would have respect the Jake man. All right, even a Jake woman would commit adultery against the men. Now you do see that here and there often, but that's slowly disappearing. That's slowly wavering off. You're not seeing that happening any longer. All right, because now what you're seeing the woman, the Edomite woman, the white woman, committing adultery to the white man, and that's just a fact. People now, a lot of women are going after the Jake men, the Israelite men, the so-called Negroes, like to the Americans, showing the point that what that Jacob is the beginning that followeth it. Jacob is the next rulership, the next era, and people in the other nations think that they're gonna rule next. They're gonna rule next. That's not the case, and we're seeing a shift that is favoring toward the Israelite, so-called Negroes, like to the Americans. Now, one thing that Elder Apostle Tahar had said, and other elders had said a long time ago, is that if a woman had, I don't think Elder Apostle Tahar had said it. I think I think it was an elder that does history on the Maccabees channel. I already forgot his name, Salakia. But he was basically saying that if your woman don't respect you, then that's when you know you lost your kingdom. That's when you know you lost, or some word way that they said it, and that's basically what's happening to every nation. Every nation woman is going toward the Israelite men, the so-called Negroes, Latino, Native Americans. They're not going to know Edomite men. They're not going to know Indian men. They're not going to know Japanese men. They're not going to know no Chinese men. They're going to Jake. They're not going to nobody else but Jake, showing you that what? That Israel is coming back in power. Israelites, the true Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latino, Native Americans. There's nobody else, and there's a cultural change. Even the curse that was upon Jake is slowly lifting them off themselves. It's not coming there anymore. It's not staying among Jake anymore. is slowly spilling on Esau Edom. All right. So Deuteronomy 30 and 7 says what? And the Lord Yahweh Shemashah, that power, will put all these curses, and the curses is talking about the book of Deuteronomy 28. Talks about like how we're gonna be afflicted, offended, how nobody don't want to be near us, how we will be disrespected, how we won't have no honor. That's happening to Esau Edom upon thine enemy. Upon who? Upon all of us. Who's the main person that afflicted us? Esau, Edom. It's going to be upon Esau. It's going to be upon our enemies. Moab, all the nations was part of our downfall. But they're all going to be afflicted by it. And on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee, all the nations have persecuted us. Or if I'm not mistaken, there's a whole list of nations that have what? Had a confederacy against Israel, so-called Negroes, Latin Americans. Let's get that real quick. They have confederate against us. KJV. There's a whole list. Yup, Psalm 83. All right. Let me see. Yeah, it's damn near gives you a list. So let me grab it real quick. Psalm 83 verse 1. Keep not thy silence, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh Bashmiel Shai. For lo, thy enemies make atonement, and they that hated thee have lifted up the head. Or they had taken crafty counsel against thy people and consult against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. And all these nations had done so. The Palestinians who had sold us to Esau in the first place. You Palestinians. You guys had done that. And then we have been sold from by them to Esau to be in captivity. And the other nations knew about it, but what did you guys do? Y'all kept it on you guys kept it dead. Y'all kept it in secret. All right. But Yahweh Shemashah, through the spirit of Yahweh Shemashah, the water that he gave us the remembrance and gave us the knowledge back again to know this. And now we're going back in power. You're seeing it happening day by day. And the black culture stuff, that's dead, man. Black culture is dead. Black culture is dead. There's nobody on earth that's trying to do hip hop. If you're trying to be part of the black culture, you're corny at this point. You're just a dead individual. It's kind of obvious. It's not a good look. You know. But I'm just trying to say the point that we're getting back in power. Jake is not doing that wicked stuff no more. Well, there's some Jake that's still doing it because they're wicked, but Jake is getting out of it. How do you know that? There is the elect among in America. There's elect in America. There's Jake out there prophesying about the downfall of this place. There's people out there that's trying to do right. That's trying to go after the ways of Yahweh Shai with choosing sincerity. That's trying to do good. That's how you know that Jake is coming back in power. It's too late. It's a cultural change, and it's gonna be a drastic change very soon. Because what's gonna happen next is America's gonna be destroyed. It's gonna be destroyed. You can't have two kingdom. You can't have two nations ruling at the same time. You can't share a seat. There's only one. The seat only could hold one person, and that's gonna be Howard Shah. And no other nation gonna be topping Howard Shah. Howard Shah gonna beat everybody else. But let's continue on. It says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacle Edom, and Ishmaelite, and Moab, and Hamaran, and Gebel, and Ammon, and Amalek, and Palestines, and the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher also is joined with them. They have holden the children of Lot Salah. So they have holding the Israelites, so-called Negroes, like to the Americans. They have holding us in captivity to this day. This is to this day. Do you see them trying to give us back our heritage? Do you see them trying to tell us that we're Israelites? Do you see them trying to tell us what to know? They're not, because they are our enemies. But right now, you're seeing a change on earth where Israelites, so-called Negroes, like to Americans, are going back in power. Now you're gonna have some Jake that's gonna be like, oh, we're just Negroes. No, no, we're just Haitians. We're just Jamaicans. We're just they don't know. They don't know. They're ignorant. And Yahweh Shemashah did say that 2/3 of Jake is not gonna make it. But what's gonna happen is the other Jake, they're gonna be on top. The 144,000, 1/3, and they're gonna be in the kingdom of heaven. And there's gonna be a time where Jake is gonna be on top, and the other nations gonna bow down their heads. Actually, matter of fact, let's go to Isaiah 60, verse 12, to prove to hit the point very well. I spelled it so wrong. Isaiah 60, verse 12, it says what? It says 60? If I'm not mistaken, it is 60, right? That's 61. That's why. I put 61. Salakia. Isaiah 60, verse 12, to hit the point, it says this: For the nation and the kingdom that will not serve thee, who is a thee, Israelites, so called Negroes, Latino Americans, shall perish. Yeah, those days shall be utterly wasted. And that's what's going to happen. They're going to be wasted utterly. They're not going to have time to rule over the Israelites. It's not going to happen. There's going to be a culture change where the Israelites, so called Negroes, Latino Americans, is going to be on top. But that's all I want to get into today. Lowest edified by this lesson. I do want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kakadach, for giving the opportunity to do a lesson today. I do want to give double honor to the elders and apostle Great Millstone for teaching the truth by using precept upon precepts and line upon line. Shalom.